Fox 10 Sports Night is back.
We continue on Sports Night with point-of-minute man CEDRIC CEBALLOS. Said, let's get right down to business. Alvin Gentry fined 25 grand. Most observers, without sounding like a homer, would have said Paul Gasol should have been tossed. It was a flagrant foul. It was intentional. Gentry went off and got tossed. What was your take?
Well, it depends on what angle you're looking at, and I think it was the right call at the time. If you go back and look at the videotape, yes, Paul should have gotten tossed out the game, but they don't have that right to go to the videotape to judge flagrant 1 or 2 calls. They made the call that they saw. They saw it was a very hard call. After you look at the videotape, you see it was a flagrant foul where he should have been ejected.
Let's talk Amari Stoudemire. As strong as he's been this season, and he's been fantastic, if you were his kind of mentor, what would you tell him that he needs more of?
Well, Amari is a great player, talented, unbelievable ability and everything. I think he just needs to turn the corner with his aggressiveness. Not aggressive on and off the court, but I think in the huddles, in the locker room, to get his team to get on the same page as him. He is a very nice guy, but in this business, you have to take. And if he wants a championship and he wants to be successful like he does, he's going to have to take it. He's not going to have to wait for anybody else to give it to him.
What's realistic from this group of Suns players? What can they honestly do? They've had a good year. Can they be a force in the postseason?
Oh, they're very scary, Jude. And the biggest thing about them is that you don't know what they're going to do. You've seen their great moments. You've seen them beat the Lakers. You've seen them beat San Antonio, take an East Coast trip undefeated. So they're right there to let you know that this team is capable. Leandro Barbosa coming back, that's another energy boost for them. But the outside shooting of Fry and also Jared Dudley, that's going to be the key. Do they spread the defense when Amari and Lil Snag go into their pick and roll game? And it's going to be hard to defend them.
You know, it's interesting. Everybody's always talked defense, why the Suns didn't win the championship over the last 4 or 5 years. Let's call it the Nash era. But you have a very different take on why the Suns haven't been able to close and win. It has everything to do with shot selection. Explain.
It does have to do with shot selection. Most shots that are taken by us, quote unquote, against San Antonio, and that's why we haven't gotten past them, is because we take those shots during the first, second, and third quarter. During the fourth quarter, those shots don't need to be taken. Those rush ones, those ones that we really need this bucket to put them away, or we need this bucket to get ourselves back in the game. If they would have took care of the basketball and took better shots, I think we would have went past the San Antonio Spurs and the Dallas Mavericks each time.
Business side of sports, Amari wants $20 million a year, somewhere in that range. The Suns can't afford to lose him, but what's going to happen here?
It's going to be real difficult because they threatened him with the lockout in a couple of years, and also the economy where it is Amari going to get that? Obviously, he's worth it. The guy is a franchise player. You can build your team around him, but it just depends on the business sense. X's and O's, crossing the T's, dotting the I's.
If you were writing the checks, would you max him?
Oh, definitely. You definitely have to max Amari Stoudemire. He's unbelievable. He's great marketing-wise. The kids love him. The fans love him. He's highlight film. You can't go wrong with a highlight film. If you want to put people in the stands, you put a highlight film out there, and you can't go wrong. And plus, with Steve Nash, you know it's going to be highlight all the time.
That's for sure, boy. That's been a fun combination. CED CEBALLOS with his insight on the Phoenix Suns tonight.